Hi guys, Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, I am coming at you with a mixed media piece, and it's the, for those who've seen me do this kind of work before, it's the, just a second, I have to scoot everything over. Hopefully I'm still in frame. My camera looks a little crooked. Just a second. When I sat down, I didn't line things up quite right. Anyway, this is the work where I have collaged a bunch of different magazine pieces. Then I'm going to use paint. I'm going to create a whole little world out of this. This is an example of something I did recently. This is one of, and then I always like to put my girls, my Angie's Angels, into the pieces. So this is an Angie's Angel here that I drew and painted, and then I put her into this world. And it started out just like the rest of them. They start out with magazine bits, and I collage them all together, and then we do all these paint techniques on here, and then we add our girl in. So that's what we're going for. So I've gone ahead, and you can use, what I use to glue on everything with is I make my own matte medium, which is Elmer's glue with a couple of squirt, like 7 or 8 squirts in a thing about this big. Okay, about 7 or 8 squirts of a clear acrylic matte coating, and that makes this matte. And so it's like a matte medium. So I glue on everything with this. Then, just to make sure it's nice and matte, even more matte, then I just spray the clear acrylic matte coating over the whole thing. And the reason that you want to do that is do that spray on it, or use matte medium and matte medium the whole thing. Both of those make it a paintable surface, and also make it so that you can wipe things off if you don't like how they turn out. So there's no commitment issues there. So I've gone ahead and I've done all that to this already. So that's where we're at right now. Everything's been pasted on, and I've matte medium over with the clear coating. If you don't want to go through this, but this is cheaper, making your own matte medium with the Elmer's glue in this, and then spraying this over with matte medium. Or if you want, just buy matte medium, but it's a lot cheaper to do it the way I just said, because that matte medium can get expensive. Okay. Oh, and then this is my girl. I've colored her up a couple of different ways. This drawing I've done her without antlers, and then recently I just did a picture with her again with antlers, and it turned out really pretty. So I'm going to use this picture again that I drew, and we're going to recolor her again. I want her very pastel-y and just very light and pretty, because this is going to be my Christmas cards. This picture, I'm going to shrink this down to like a 5x6 and put that on top of my Christmas cards this year. And also I'll make prints of the world with her in it. So anyway, she'll be put into this world once we're done with that. Okay? Make sure you want to look at that for a second. There she is. Okay. All right, and we'll be coming in close when we work and stuff here in a second. Okay, so I think we're all cut up to where we need to be. Okay, the reason there's this white right here, in the middle of this beautiful sky, because I'm going to continue painting on this sky. This is just to get me started and to see like what colors I want to use in the sky. There was a guy's leg here or something, so I just whited that out. So, all right, so you always want to use just cheapy acrylic paints, like matte acrylic paint. And so I'm going to mix a little bit of that lavender and put a little bit of this blue. And then I get this kind of blue color. Because that's not really a blue sky, it's more of a lavender sky. And I kept looking at all my acrylic paints, and I have tons of acrylic paints. And I kept looking for that color, and I'm like, and I was looking through all my blues, I'm like, that's not blue. That's like a deep lavender. And then I was like, no wonder why I can't find it. Duh. Okay, so I have that color mixed up here. And then there's that pink sky. So I'm going to take this pink and this pink. I'm not sure what I'm doing with these two yet. It looks like it's more this color here, but sometimes light pinks like that won't really show up, so I'll need to mix the two. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's start up here at the sky. Let me bring you guys down a little bit. Just a second. I'm going to move you guys. Let's see if this is working. I'm trying to bring you guys in. Okay, that's gonna have to do right there. You won't be able to see a little bit past my finger here, but that'll be fine. Just as long as we're basically in frame. Let me see, I can come back out just a little bit. That's about what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm working with a really long piece of paper, so that's why it's kind of hard for me to get everything in. Yeah, I don't really want to work with this brush. I like to work with my fingers on this. Just using that paintbrush to stir things up. Okay, so I like to use my fingers when I do the sky. I'm going to throw some purple in right here. And I'm going to throw the purple in over the purple that we already have. Especially on the little white areas over here in the corner. Not right there. Okay. Let me get paper towel, some baby wipes. I was looking through my acrylic paints today looking for this color, like I said, and you know what I ran into? I've never run into this problem before yet, but I had some paint that mildewed. And I live in Las Vegas, so it's a lot drier here, so other people may have had that problem already. But I couldn't believe it. I was like smelling. I'm like, what the heck is that smell? It was my paint. It had mildewed. I was like, I mean, obviously, yeah, old paint would probably mildew, but it just never happened to me before, so I was a little bit surprised. I was like, huh, okay. All right, so I'm filling in. See how I'm blending in this purple? So what happens is when you choose a sky, like let me discuss the pieces real quick. This sky that I chose, that's just to get you started on your sky. And then you can go right over it with the acrylic paint and get as close as you can to colors, if that's what you want. And that's what I wanted, that's why I chose those colors. And it just gets you going on your sky. Okay. So now let's throw in some pink. And the same thing too, I can discuss a few more things that are in the picture here. See these roses right here? I attached these roses. These are going to be a water feature. This is a little, these are a bunch of I don't know if they're little apartments or little houses, but it looks very Victorian, so I loved it. So I put that in there. This is how I'm creating my whole world. And then this hummingbird, because I love hummingbirds. This is a stack of rings going all the way down. You really can't see the bottom of it. That's going to be a water feature. And then this right here will be some type of a clock in the sky or time in the sky. So, wanted to let you know what I attached on here. Oh, and then this is the other thing. This is going to be very snowy looking scene because these are going to be my Christmas cards. So this right here is a bunch of trees in the background, and I just glued that on for the whole background here. There's a lot to it, but I put a bird going over it. I pasted some of this this Victorian, let's call it a castle. Victorian castle over some of the trees, but some of the trees are peekabooing through. Okay? All right. So that's how I created my little world. Oh, and at the bottom, it's white. All white at the bottom. And it's going to be water down at the bottom. It'll be water at the bottom. So we'll do the same colors we have up in the sky is how the water is going to be at the bottom. And so what that kind of creates is like a reflection. Like this, the water is the same color as the sky. Like the sky is reflecting into the water. And I do that with most of the time with my work. I have the water the same as the sky because I think it looks good. What I did right now is I just dipped my finger in the light and the dark and mixed my color, because that's what this color pink is. It's a mixture of both those. One was too light, one was too dark. Yeah, if you can't find the color that you need to do your work, just start mixing and you'll get the right color. And if you have to Google what colors are mixed with what to make what colors. I intuitively kind of do that. It just comes to me pretty naturally, mixing colors. I'm going to add a little more pink in the sky right here. That looks cool. Just a second, you guys. Sorry if you can't see something. I'm having to move my paper weird. Okay. So I may be off camera for 1 second. But I'll be back on in just a minute. That looks good. If you ever need something to blend a little bit more, you can take your baby wipe to the wet paint and just even the dry paint, because you have that acrylic sealer on here, and you can just go like that and it'll just blend out a little bit. Okay. That looks good. So let me see what you guys are seeing. Look how pretty that sky is. Isn't that gorgeous? There's that. Okay. All right, so now we're going to come all the way out, back out to the bottom. Hopefully you guys can see the bottom, and you're not. Let me see if I need to bring the camera up here like this. Okay, there we go. So down here at the bottom, we're going to do the same thing we did at the top. So I'm going to put our lavender in. I'm going to put the lavender over the whole thing. And then we'll mix the pink on top. I think that'll work out really, really nice. Kind of go over these flowers a little bit so that some of those flowers are in the... Now those roses, I love to make roses into water features. And then this stack of rings, when I was telling you about that, that's also going to be a water feature. Ooh. You know what else I love to make into water features? Cakes. I had a whole magazine, a wedding magazine I got for $1. You guys, it was the thickest magazine ever. It was like one of those $15 regular magazines. And I cut out all those cakes. I need to see if I can't find some wedding magazines on eBay for at least a decent price. Some old wedding. I'm gonna put that down as a note to myself because I really want to do that. You guys, and they make a gorgeous water feature wedding cakes. I haven't done one for a while because I ran out of wedding cakes like a long time ago. Okay. But anything that stacks like that, or the flowers, or some boxes, you can turn those into water features. You guys, just a second, I'm writing that down. What did I just say? Wedding cake book, magazine. In fact, I have the magazine, it's just I took everything out of it. I should look at the magazine name, so I will, now that I have that written down. Okay, now let's add the pink. And sorry, you guys, that I'm kind of far away, but that's how it's going to be for this, so you guys can get the gist of what I'm doing. I think that'll be fine, just because I'm doing something pretty big, so I think we'll be fine. Not being so close. But I got a lot of really, really fine work to do, so I will be getting closer. I am loving this lavender pinkish water. I think it's gorgeous. Okay. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see how that looks. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. See how it looks like that sky is reflecting off onto the water down there? Okay. You know what? We can just go. Let me let that dry. Well, I'm down here anyway. Let me dry this a little bit, and then we'll finish up this water while we're down here. Because we're going to go back up to the sky and do a bunch of cool stuff. So let's dry this. Okay, good enough. It doesn't have to be completely dry. Okay, so now we're going to take some white acrylic paint. White and black is white flat acrylic paint are two of the most important colors you'll be using in your craft room. And I say that, and I don't even have my white right out in front of me, which is crazy. If you want to buy it at Walmart and the big things that big, I would, because use a lot of it. Just a second, I have to get in my chair and go up here and get my white paint. I always have it right out here in front. But you know, because I'm making a video, I don't. Okay, what the hell? Just a second, I have to go down and get some more white paint down here with my extra stuff. Okay, I got it. All right. Sorry about that, guys. You think you got everything you need, and then you look up and you're like, what the hell? I don't have everything I need. Okay, so we're going to, let me get my scruffy brush. Makes me so happy. I just have glasses and bases of brushes. I just love it. It's the best. Okay. I feel I am rich with what I want to be rich with, which is art supplies. I'm rich in art supplies. I don't care about being rich with cash. I want to be rich with art supplies. Okay. Let me see if I can't come. I don't think I will be able to come in any closer. Nope. So as soon as I come in closer, well, I know what I can do. Now that this is dry, I can bring this up. There we go. And now I can come in a little closer. So you guys, excuse me that I here and there I'll be resituating my camera, but it's for the best so that you can really get a good look at it. Because nothing's worse than someone doing something and you're not seeing it. You're like, okay, but we're not seeing it. You're like, I'd like to get some ideas. I'd like to get some inspiration if I could see it. Okay. So I just took a scruffy, this is a scruffy brush. What I mean by scruffy, the bristles are really like not soft, okay? I accidentally got this brush a long time ago at Tuesday morning. So if you could look for a brush that's really stiff, that's the kind of brush I'm talking about. And I love it. It makes great, like watch, it makes great waves in the water. And it also makes great clouds, which I'll be showing you. So look how I'm just going across like this for water. Is that simple or what? But it doesn't do it super evenly. It does it a little bit rough, which is good. I want the roughness. Okay. There we go. So there's the water. We're going to do splashes too. So there'll be water being splashed on top of all of this, but I don't want to do the splashing until we have, until I've done other stuff, like my water features up here. Okay? It won't look right. Okay. So now, we're going to go back up to the top and do clouds at the top. Let me resituate my camera again. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of different ways you can do clouds. You can take, I just got color in my brush. Well, that'd have been pretty. I'd have done pink clouds, which that would have been nice. Okay. So there's so many ways to do clouds, and I'm going to do a couple different clouds in this one painting here. So I'm going to take my white paint, and I'm going to do this type of cloud, just kind of like how I did the water. We've all seen clouds like that, right? Perfect. Then I'm going to take another cloud, and I'm going to go like this. With the same brush. See how this brush is so awesome? Okay, and that's just one of those real fluffy clouds. And then you could do another fluffy cloud like that. Like that. But then take your finger and just kind of fluff it. In fact, you could take I think a wet baby wipe. Let's see how that works. I may or may not like this. We'll see. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see. Take it and let's see if this works out. And just kind of go like this. Perfect. And what this does is it just really, really smears the paint. And when it does that, look how nice little fluffy cloud that makes. Pretty. Let's do another rough one. Right there. And then we'll do another one that's like this. So it looks really cool. It looks like we really mixed up the sky here. Okay. I'm not liking my fluffy one right there. Like I said, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And I think what depends if it works out really well is how dark your sky is. So if I had a darker sky, like a really dark blue sky, it would show up better. But see, it didn't show up that better. It kind of showed up as, I don't know, it just didn't show up that good. So I'm going to put a little fluffy cloud right here. That looks good. Okay. And then this one, we'll do a little bit of this here. Perfect. And that looks kind of cool that we went over the bird's wing with the cloud. Because it looks like the bird went behind the clouds there. I like that. And you know what? Here, you can make it look like it's raining. Just go like this. Take your scruffy brush and go like this. And just go straight down. And it looks like it's raining. Isn't that cool? That's a little thing. Okay. If you feel like you're getting overwhelmed by how many things I'm showing you at one time, because I do them really, really quick. And I'm not trying to do them quick. They just keep coming, you know, the techniques that I've used in the past keep coming to my head, you know, and I'm just doing them. Get a piece of paper out, write these things down. Say, oh, okay, there's one. You don't have to use all three techniques. Just use one of them. Say, oh, this is a good way to do clouds. If you like it, you know, I'm not saying do my ideas, or they're not my ideas. They're ideas that I've learned. But if you like that idea, write it down. And then that way you can use that when you do this type of work or whatever mixed media that you're doing. Okay, so now in the sky, what do I want to do now? I want to do splatters. So let's splatter everything. Yes. Okay. I want to do splatters because even though it's not a total night sky, I want there to be stars, but I also want there to be snow everywhere too. So we're going to put these white splatters are going to represent snow and stars. And you'll know what I'm talking about in a second. You guys are like, what? It's your world. These are little fantasy worlds. You can do whatever you want. I mean, obviously, look, I have a hummingbird going across the sky. And the hummingbird is huge compared to the castle. And so, okay, just a second. I'm looking for my fan brush, which I'm not seeing. All right, never mind. I like to use a fan brush to do splatters. But that little rough brush I was talking about that's real stiff, that also makes good splatters. So just take a little bit of acrylic paint, which I just put a little bit right there. Spray some water. There you go. And that's how you can make your splatters. If you have a nice stiff brush, it'll work just as good on making splatters. All right, let me move a few things out of the way that I don't want to get splattered. Okay. Do I care about anything else? No. Everything else gets splattered if it wants. Okay, I'm not making very many splatters. Just a second. Let me get a little bit more water. Okay, now maybe we should splatter now. No, not yet. Let me get a little more water. All right, let's see if we can get some splatters going now. There we go. I'm using a different brush and I'm using a different white paint. I normally use a cheap acrylic paint I get at Walmart. I ran out of that, so I have this stuff right here. It's an acrylic paint fine touch. This is like a $7 or $8 bottle. I got it for $1.75, you guys, at Hobby Lobby when they had their 75% off. Oh, that was a beautiful thing. And it went on for like 5 months. Every week was something new they were clearancing out. It was fabulous. It wasn't fabulous for my pocketbook, but it was fabulous for the deals. Okay, so now that I'm putting splatters everywhere. This is all splatters for snow. Okay. Except for in here, I'm going to make it look like a little galaxy. So this is going to be stars in here. But all the rest of this is going to be snow. And I want a lot on this house. Okay. And we want kind of a lot in the sky. And we want a lot over these trees. There we go. We want a lot in the water. So we want it to look like snowy water. Okay. This looks good. This is what I wanted. There's some big splatters in there. Guess I'll just leave those. Doesn't matter, does it? Not really. Okay. There could be big snow flurries. Okay. So let me put these paints over here. Look how cool this world looks already. And we're not even halfway done. We're not even halfway done. But look how cool the little world looks already. Okay, so now we're going to come back in close. Let me bring this up here. There we go. Bring this over. Let's see, is this the deal, or is it the other way that needs to come? Let me see what's going on. Okay, you know what? I know we're coming close, but maybe not that close. Okay, you should be able to hopefully see there. It's pretty close. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want to do some stars. I want to do some shooting stars, lightning, and birds. Okay? Sounds like a lot. And it is. It is a lot. But you'll be amazed how fast it goes because everything is so simple and quick. Okay, so some more white paint on my little tray here. And we need to get my favorite brush, a liner brush. So this is what a liner brush looks like. Very, very small. They have these beautiful mermaid brushes at Hobby Lobby for $5 a pack. You get 3 of them in a pack. You guys, they work beautifully, and look how beautiful they are. More importantly. And they're like $5, but if you use a 40% off coupon, you're probably picking them up for like, I don't know, $3.50 or something. So, good deal. And they work really nice. If not, you can go in any fine art department at Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby. Did I say Hobby Lobby is where I got these? That's where I got the deal. Where I got them at and used the coupon. I can't believe what I just said. But you can get them at any, like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, in the fine art department too. You can get liner brushes. They're not the cheapest brushes, but use a coupon and you can pick them up for, you know, $4 or $5 for one brush. But to pick them up and you get 3 brushes in a pack of these liner, yeah, real good deal. Okay, so let's start making our stars. We've already made some stars, right? By making the spotters. So that's our first set of stars. So here's the second set of stars. You're just doing like 1 or 2, 3 or 4 flick outs. Okay. I like to do like 3 flick outs. Hey! Hey, I'm making a video! Kyle! I'm sure you heard me. You guys are like, we heard you. That was kind of loud, huh? Sorry. Okay. Now, I have my... I'm working around it. I have my... what is this? My easel in my work. But it's what I have to do right now. I have some organizational stuff in front of me, and so my easel can't go back any further, so that's why it has to come up on top of my work. So from now on, when I make these videos, I just rearranged it like this, and I haven't made a video like this since then. I'll remove the stuff from the back so that the easel doesn't have to be in my work. But okay, so you're just doing 3 flick outs like that, and you get these medium-sized stars. Okay. So you see all those. Doesn't that look pretty? Now we're going to do shooting stars. Okay, and then, so I put a dot down and then I just flick out. Now you can do this with